That's good coffee. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere out there. My name is Brian Engelman, and today is New Year's Eve 2025. And this right here, the thing that you are watching, well, let me tell you, this thing right here that you're watching, it's got a name. Take a look. Follow my finger. You do not want to be following a finger this evening. Be sober drivers. Call your Ubers. But also, watch the finger. Watch this. I got a magic trick. The TNAM Daily Show. Yes. What does TNAM stand for? Follow the finger. The New American Media. Thank you for being here on the New American Media. You know what? I don't think I have I do have a full-size TNAM Daily Show. That's pretty cool. We never really look at that large screen now, do we, folks? Keep in mind, we had yesterday's episode 23 of season 2, Strictly Football. Myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell, Ezrael Robinson. We discussed all the things in the NFL. If you're a sports fan, check it out. I think it's pretty fun. We love football. It's a nice break from this. Just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that has gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool to dance, but what about something soothes and moves romance? Give me a soft summer mix, and if it ain't broken, don't try to fix it. And think of the summers of the past. Adjust the bass and let the Alpine blast. Pop in my CD and let me run around and put your car on cruise and lay back, because it's the summertime. Come on, who doesn't know that? I guess let me ask you in the chat. Hit like, hit subscribe, dear viewers. Do you remember lyrics the way that I do? I'm a musician. I've recorded lots of songs, played many shows, been a booking agent, booked many bands. I am a musician. It's in my blood, so I know I'm wired the way that I'm wired. That doesn't mean that everyone else is. But where do you stand on catching lyrics? I know I would do shows with Blake Wally, years of shows with Blake Wally, just decades of shows with Blake Wally. I think we did a segment on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees from Minnesota, by the way, from Minneapolis. That was wild. But he's and I've done long road trips like with Blake to the Republican convention in 2016. Washington, D.C. for January 6th. And I've taken him to concerts. We've gone to go see Harry Mack. We did like a music reaction video. But he told me, he's like, I don't pick up on the lyrics. I don't catch the lyrics that well. I do. Now, maybe that's because if you find me a microphone, I'm going to want to use it. What's up to everybody in our Rumble chat, by the way? Patriot Warrior Texas, anchoring things, holding it down. Remember, this is the last day of 2025. If anyone wants to start strong and go like, yeah, I can sign up. I can subscribe to the New American Media on Rumble for like $5 a month, or YouTube for like $5 a month, or Patreon for like $10 a month or something. Cool. And then you set it, forget it, and that's another little Lego. I have the building block base of the Legos, and I put a Lego down. Every monthly subscriber is another block to build the foundation. Then you can start putting in framing for windows and doors, and you can sort of build something. So yes, just looking over there at Rumble reminded me. What's up? Thanks for anchoring it. Yeah, we need to get more people into Rumble. How do we do that? I think this is the goal. We need to figure out collectively. We love our regulars here at this bar. Welcome to Brian's Bar, by the way. We're going to discuss all the things on the TVs behind me. As I said, it's New Year's Eve. Be safe, be careful. Don't go doing anything stupid out there, wrecking your life, okay? Don't make me say it twice. By the way, the Buckeyes play tonight in the playoffs. Big sports fan. If anyone wants some merch, I've got my sports show, the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Coasters are $30 a piece. These are 4 thick wooden Ohio-made coasters. They're $30 a piece, includes shipping to the continental United States, or 2 for $50. And the pins are $25 for the Unhappy Hour, if you want to support your boy. But yeah, we need to grow the show. We need to get more subscribers, fill up the Rumble side of things. We're very YouTube centric, it is what it is. But we need to get people into Rumble as well. We need to find a way to do both. We need to expand the core group of people here in this bar where we talk about all the news, everything that's on these televisions that we're looking at. See all these TVs behind me? Let's talk about the stuff. It's a lot of fraud talk. It's a lot of fraud talk because what's going on in Minneapolis is not in Minneapolis. It's in Springfield, Ohio. It's in Columbus, Ohio. It's in New York. It's in Los Angeles. It's in San Francisco. You got to understand these deep state Democrats have a globalist plan to overthrow this country through population migration, enclaves, district by district overthrow, dismantling of what this country is. At our 250th birthday, we're going to show you some cool video of the Washington Monument. It's now going to be played at nighttime, starting tonight. And it's awesome. We need to remember that this country is supposed to be something cool. It needs to be protected. You need to make sure that the people coming in are coming in for the right reason, not to grab everything they can in a home invasion and run away. It's to come here and contribute and build something. And if you're going to be a dirtball, into the cage you go. Do it again, you don't get let out. Do something bad enough, you need to just be eliminated. We got a justice system for this. But the justice system is very compromised right now. We keep screaming, where are the indictments? The grand conspiracy, the 2020 totally legitimate election. Wink, wink. By the way, this is the time to remind you. For countervailing views on health and elections, go to CISA.gov/rumor control, CDC.gov, and WHO.int. Go get your countervailing views. Isn't that cool when you can see the green screen behind me? Look at that. It's all magic. Magic. Ta-ta. Yeah, it's not perfect. And I'm sure the lighting could be a little different. You got to have multiple angles and crisp resolution around the edges. It's okay. I know this can be upgraded. I'm sort of okay with it. I'm mostly fine with it. It sort of works. But we're going to cover all these stories. And we're going to have a good time today, New Year's Eve. Question of the day, what do you plan on doing today? And do you have any New Year's Eve / New Year's traditions? Pomegranates? Let's see. Sauerkraut and kielbasa. Football. Go Buckeyes. OHIO. What are your traditions? We all have some. I've been a bartender a lot. It's sort of weird when I'm not working because I don't know what to do. So I'm like, well, normally it's a holiday. I would be bartending. Like that's just what you do. You make other people have a good time. You host the party, and you get compensated for it. Speaking of which, let me put the tip jars out at the bottom. You are watching the TNAM Daily Show on the New American Media. And of course, we encourage you to sign up on Patreon, YouTube, and Rumble. Rumble rants and super chats, by the way, as well as Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Donations scrolling at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, I would go host the party, and they would put tips out, and you'd take the tips, and you're like, all right, well, I don't mind hosting the party as long as I'm fairly compensated, as long as I'm well compensated. But yeah, it's weird not working on New Year's Eve. I just, if I go back from age 18 forward up until this year, I mean, I don't know how many New Year's Eves I wasn't doing something. How many times was I just free to roam? There have been several over the years, but just a lot in my formative years were definitely busy working at the party, at the club, at the bar, at the establishment. But I like working. I like talking. I like hanging out with you. We like that's why regulars would come in when I would bartend. I worked one place and they said, "Oh, we're shut down Mondays," and I was the new guy, and I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no." I said, "Listen, I'm looking for extra shifts. You're closed tonight. Let's do a night." Or it was that they were ready to close it, like the numbers were down. They were doing like an 80s night or something, or a goth night. Not really sure on the theme. I said, no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on, hold on. You're not closing it down. Or it had been closed. They tried another one. They're like, it just doesn't work on Monday. I said, no, 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 no. Let me host the night. Let me bartend. So we had dollar drinks, dollar wells or something. So I got rid of that immediately. We're doing $2 doubles. You go, okay, I can do a double for $2. And you make the 2 like a 3. Or, just a solid 2. I mean, that's fine. That wasn't the point. The point was just you double your sales right off the bat. Bigger glass, 2 of them. But it's about making your regulars feel comfortable. And like, we are a family. We're all kicking it here. We're all hanging out. Everything, like, we got simple expectations here. You treat each other the way you'd want to be treated. No heavy-handed bullshit. And it's like, let's all have a good time. And you don't tolerate things that deviate from that. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to build a following. And, I appreciate all of the regulars here. We just need to start selling this place out. So in this year, I implore all of the regulars to start bringing some of your closest friends and family. I know some of us already do that, but we want to take this to as many people as possible. We want to grow this. But please answer, regulars, this question is for you. Answer it in the question of the day. On a scale of 1 to 10, or however you want to answer the question, because I did previously ask you, are you skilled at usually picking up the lyrics to songs? And once you do you typically retain them or sing them? I know I'm different. I've held 1,000 microphones. I've sang 1,000 songs. I'm built different. I'm built the way I'm built. I'm not sure what that's like for other people. But as I started giving you that DJ Jazzy Jeff Summertime in the Fresh Prince, that's some good rap. It's like some, there's some good stuff in there. You don't need to overthink music. I think people can overthink music sometimes. But yeah, Blake would always say he couldn't pick up on the lyrics. I'm like, how do you not? What do you mean you don't? Like, how do you? What? I don't even understand how a world like that is constructed. But we're all built different. So type it in the comments, as well as another question of the day. Tell me your New Year's Eve / New Year's Day traditions. This is a glorious time of year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Anything else you're into, good on you. And I hope you had a great one of those things. Sincerely. Humans are so intentionally divided. It's so unfortunate that we waste any energy on the bullshit, on the divisive stuff. Some of you, pinkies up to the trolls out there, and some of you might say, "Oh, it's you MAGA supporters that are the divisive ones." Oh yeah, okay, cool story, bro. Let me break it down. Being America first means our group is going to protect our group as the most important thing. We are members of this group called America, and we need to look out for each other. If that's divisive and hateful, I think you're selling me a bill of goods, and I think you're the divisive and hateful one. It's really that simple. So we have people that get it, and we got people that don't. This nation at our 250th birthday now, less than 12 hours away from our 250th birthday year, 1776. As he emerged from the Continental Congress, tired, sweaty, stinking, Probably some venereal disease, perhaps, according to rumors. An exasperated, exhausted Benjamin Franklin was asked by one of the town folk, "Sir, Mr. Franklin, what type of government have you given us?" Why did she sound like me? I don't know. Let's try that again. "Sir, what type of government have you given us, governor?" Why did she become British, isn't it? I don't know. I'm all over the place with my accents today. Milk was a bad idea. Milk was a bad choice. An improv sketch was a bad choice. So, what type of government have you given us? Mr. Franklin replied, "A republic, ma'am, if you can keep it." Thus we sent forth 250 years. And in that 249th year, we witnessed all of the fraud, the fake asylum claims, the fake Somali daycares, and the plundering and looting of a formerly once great nation who since 2001 took on about $35 trillion in debt, stolen by deep state Democrats and complicit traitorous, duplicitous rhinos who are Republicans in name only. Why did your accent change again? I don't know, but I'm starting to consider what he would sound like giving this report. A little more scathing, a little more furious, a little more resolved to fix, to set right that which once went wrong. Yes, you remember that from the beginning of Quantum Leap, starring Scott Bakula, a delightful series. But in our 250th year, we have to figure out, what type of country do we want moving forward? Buckle up, Buttercup. Because we're here. We're on the dawn of the golden age, if we don't screw it up. A republic, ma'am, if you can keep it. A golden age, sir, if you don't screw it up. So buckle up, Buttercup, the TNAM Daily Show, a division of the Agree to Disagree show on the New American Media. Starts right now.
Your guide to the truth, thenewamericanmedia.com.
But yeah, we built that random Monday night out. It became one of the better nights. And then, because then I moved away. I took my band and I went out to the left coast, doggone it. We were going to make something out of ourselves. We're going to make it big in the music industry, see? We have music out there if you want to find it on YouTube, the Twist of Nothing. And that was actually, that song you were listening to was written by my brother, Chris, who was the guitar player and singer, songwriter, drummer, percussionist, DJ in our band. I was the drummer, singer, guitarist, songwriter, singer of our band. Yeah, that night that was going to get shut down, I helped build it into something special. And like they ended up needing 2 or 3 bartenders that night because it was so busy. We turned it into a fun place. And that's what we're looking for here is we want everyone to invite your friends. And if we got 5, let's make it 10. If we got 10, let's make it 20. We got 20, let's make it 40. Let's double our numbers. Let's boost what we're doing here. Because it's a party. It's New Year's Eve. We want everyone to come in and have a good time. So let's bring everybody in the chat. Hello, Droopy Dog. John Brenneman. Yes, John created these mugs, by the way. If you want to help your boy out, throw a tip in the tip jar. Last chance of 2025, by the way. Shoot me a Venmo at Brian Engelman, BrianEngelman. This is black and white and red all over, just like the newspaper used to be. Shoot a $40 donation over. That'll include up to $10 of shipping and handling in the United States, and we will mail one of these The New American Media mugs out to you. So that's John. Hello, John. Thanks for being here. Howdy, howdy, and Happy New Year. Lake Leon, Trash Panda. What's up? Danette. Howdy, 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 howdy. Yes, we're all a bunch of Woodies today. Howdy, 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 howdy. Howdy, 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 howdy. What is, I interchange lyrics with conversation when it applies. Yeah. It applies to me all the time. I probably struggle with that and fight with that, and you don't even know the struggles. Nobody knows the troubles I feel, or how that song goes. Yeah, I interchange lyrics with conversation and conversation with lyrics all the time. Do we remember lyrics? Lake Leon, I don't remember yesterday. What you talking about, Willis? You do it because you're funny. Yes, I think it's funny as well. I start off with just a little something to break the monotony. Not going to do it again, but that got me into put your car on cruise and lay back because it's the summertime. Lake Leon, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, eats black-eyed peas and cornbread. Oh, I see. And cabbage. All right. Party on, Kenneth. Party on, Garth. What's up? Florida in the house. Oh, it's Danette's birthday. She never did. Happy birthday, Danette. Cheers to you. No pinkies up. Oh, here, I gotta do product placement. Cheers to you. No pinkies up. We do pinkies up for trolls. Happy birthday to Danette. Nothing special. Okay. Well, every year is a chance to make a brand new tradition, by the way. Pick something weird. What's open on? Go to Denny's. Let someone else make the food and clean it up or something, or go bowling or nothing. Like nothing's fine. But remember, like you could go to the Chinese restaurant, take the kiddos to the Chinese. Who knows? You would be building a brand new tradition that your kids would only know as, yeah, we always used to go bowling after Chinese. And then we go see a movie. You know, I have 3 places that are probably open on New Year's. Yes, did not notice that. Where was Kenneth? He was missed the other day in his comments. Yeah, he has 2 days, right? You have 2 days that you are sometimes out of the noon Eastern time loop. By the way, speaking of times, yesterday at 3 o'clock, we had Strictly Football. Check it out. Myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell, Ezrael Robinson. That's Strictly Football. On the New American Media, a division of the Unhappy Hour. But now we're back on the TNAM Daily Show, of course. How nice was that? Boom, 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 boom. That's called production skills right there. That's called production skills. All right. Let's see. Ednet. Yeah, I know. Don't get me started on my wretched English accent. It's not the best, but it is kind of fun. All right. Speaking of kind of fun, let's get into. Do I want to start with newsiness or start with Instagram? Because we have different stories on different platforms. I guess let's start here. Make sure you're following the New American Media on Instagram. We need 50 subscribers to hit our 1,000. Tell your friends, share a post. That would be great if you could. Trying to see where we're at right now. Going to our we need 49 followers to reach our 1,000. So if you're a regular here at this bar and you don't have an Instagram account, please consider getting an Instagram account real quick. It's a great way that you're going to see updates. The show, I said this yesterday, the topics that I play on this program, the TNAM Daily Show, are often shared on Instagram and X prior to the show. So if you want a sneak preview of the show, this is how previous Brian is becoming the current show producer for show host Brian. While show engineer Brian and producer Brian juggle between your chat and these visuals. It's a lot of fun, but yes. Oh, that's hilarious. While I was talking, my follower count on Instagram went from 951 to 950. That is wild work. And you know what I did? I shared a Nick Shirley interview with CNN that backfired video, and they took a viewer away. This is the shit I'm up against. I'm crazy to continue wasting my time on it. I know it, but I'm good at it. And with the right audience, this can be my full-time gig. I know it. I firmly believe it. So all of you that are here for the ride, thank you for being here. And yes, we do rely on your support, your kind support, to keep this afloat, everybody. But that's wild. I just shared a Nick Shirley video and it took a viewer away. It's unreal. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. I don't even know the melody of it. Nobody knows my sorrow. Nobody knows. All right, well, that's the song you're going to sing. Pull it up on YouTube. That's going to be your new holiday tradition. By yourself while they're skiing in Taos. Nobody knows. I'll have to pull that up. Someone share that on X and tag us and say, we talked about this song on the New American Media, on the TNAM Daily Show today. Pull up the Nobody Knows song. And yes, by the way, as far as I'll help finance after this, there's please, when I say this, understand me. I never intend to guilt trip or expectations. Anything is a surprise. It's glorious. It's unexpected. It's appreciated. The stuff we expect are the monthly subscriptions. That's why they're building blocks. You can just settle down and go, all right, at least I know this much is coming in from this group. And that helps plan, because you can never really anticipate monthly revenue from advertisements, and then the super chats, rumble rants, they're all just so sporadic, and the PayPal and the Venmo, it comes in from every direction. No. I have to give the spiel. I have to mention it each show, because then nobody would if I don't talk about it. If I don't tell you I have merch, I'm never going to move it. I don't want to sit on 15 mugs. I want 15 mugs 14. 16 came in. I have one. Kenneth has one. I want them to go out. I don't want a box of these in the basement. I want these out there. And merch is just a fun way to support. Subscriptions are another way. But no. I never want anything from anyone who isn't in a position. Whatever that position is, if nobody's in that position, never let it seem like my mentioning the crowdfunding aspect to this, as I show you, I share Nick Shirley and I lose a follower instantly. That's Instagram meta punishment, because it's exposing their scam. When you're on Google, YouTube, they sort of don't want you to succeed. That's why it's like, we are so YouTube centric. I would love to get everybody over into Rumble. I would love to do that. But yeah, we're just up against this weird thing. I have to mention it. Otherwise, I'm only in business with Meta, Instagram, Facebook, and Google, YouTube, who have all been very clear with me that they don't appreciate the New American Media, just like they don't appreciate Nick Shirley. You know why? Because they want to keep getting away with their theft of the country and our dollars for as long as possible. They want to burn it all down and rule over the ashes. So it's only from that private support that we are attempting to endeavoring to continue our 15-year mission, which is to seek truth, challenge dogma, and have fun. We ask people to join the mostly civil conversation. That's the mission statement. From sports to spirituality, comedy to Congress, freedom to firearms. We're all over the place. We're all over the place. So anyway, thank you all. Let's get to the topics. All right. Real Esposito here shares something. It says it's Bellevue, Washington. Now, I don't know if this is a real video. I don't know if this is accurately depicting what we're looking at. It appears to be. And it appears to be fairly recent in Bellevue, Washington, which is one of these backward Democrat areas where they've let the bad guys start abusing all the good people around them, making criminality normal, acceptable, and it's unenforceable to stop it. I lived in Los Angeles. I could do 1,000 hours about the shit I had to go through living in the crazyville where they're letting the thieves run rampant, but they're not protecting the good guys. Lake Leon says TNAM does not have commercials during this show. Do you mean if you're watching on Rumble? Okay, you're saying on Rumble. Oh, that they won't break away from the live feed. I think what Rumble does, they'll play you two-minute videos at the beginning of the show. And then maybe they have ads on the screen, depending if you're on a computer or a cell phone. Maybe they'll keep an ad on the, it'll format it so that there's an advertisement that sits on the screen. And the more minutes that sits there, that turns into pennies or something like that. I don't know that. Does YouTube take you away to advertisements once we launch? I don't think so. I think if you're watching after the fact, advertisements are put in, that's for sure. But I think both of them have pre-show commercials prior to the live show launching, which sets you a couple minutes behind if you want to be caught up in the live chat. Pros and cons everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Correct. Got it. Danette says, I'm actually really happy. That was the song you were trying to. No. I know. Yes, I know you were. But as you were saying, nobody knows the sorrows, troubles. See, I don't even really know the words. I don't even remember what it's from. Nobody knows. You like to stay home, retired from being friendly a few years ago. Yeah. No, but it perfectly fit the scenario where it's like, I want to be home on the holidays and nobody knows the sorrow I feel. I don't know the song. Maybe I'll look it up later. Anyway, this is allegedly QFC Crossroads, Bellevue, Washington. Real Esposito shares this and says, hell yes, patriotic Americans in Washington are fed up with illegals stealing things and they're taking matters into their own hands. Walks up, grabs the bag, rips it out of his hand.
Hey, no.
Short and stout Latino dude.
Stealing beer today, hombre. Sorry. Are you sorry? Sorry.
He says, hey, no stealing here today, hombre. And the guy says, I'm sorry. He goes, I'm sorry?
Why are you sorry? No money. You're not sorry?
No money. No money. So I just take. And he puts his hands together, please.
That's the second time we caught him.
Second time they caught this guy stealing stuff, allegedly.
5 beers?
That's the second time we caught him.
He's sorry?
Yeah.
You're not sorry. You do this every fucking day.
That's the
You're
second
a fucking
time.
illegal piece of shit coming and steal his blind, you fuck.
America's being robbed blind by non-Americans. What the fuck, people? Oh, you're anti this, you're into that. I'm anti people robbing us blind when we're all trying to get by. We're all trying to get by. And we got thieves creeping amongst us. We can't tolerate that shit. We cannot tolerate it. In 2026, never vote Democrat anywhere ever. They allow this type of shit. They don't enforce theft laws. They don't enforce violent lunatics getting pulled off the streets. They just bail them out to keep causing problems. They're mentally damaged. These Democrat politicians, They're either compromised, blackmailed, bought and sold, traitors, or they're morons. Which one is it? A little bit of both? No place in America for Democrat politicians that allow your cities to be ripped apart by non-Americans.
Hey, no stealing beer today, hombre. Sorry. Are you sorry?
Sorry, I'm paid.
Why are you sorry?
I don't get no money.
You're not sorry?
That's the second time we caught him.
5 beers?
That's the second time we caught him.
Shit. He's sorry?
Yeah.
You're not sorry. You do this every fucking day.
That's the
You're
second
a fucking
time.
illegal piece of shit. Come and steal his blind, you fuck.
I mean, come on. You want to get robbed blind by fake daycares? Or are they fake? CNN's now defending the fake daycares, as you all anticipated. Moving on. Breaking 14. So do you agree or disagree that vigilante stuff is the only thing that's going to sort this out? If your lawmakers aren't going to defend you, do you have to do this yourself? Do you agree or disagree with the gist of this video? I'm a little torn. I mean, what else? If not me, who? If not now, when? Just everything is just all allowed on the table all the time now? That's just, we've entered Mad Max. It's the purge. Nothing matters. So, anyway. What's this? 14-year-old Texas girl disappears, becoming the third missing Bexar County teen in just a week. So let's guess. Let's take a guess here. Is it possible that illegal alien invaders, or maybe drug cartel members, or human smugglers, human traffickers, coyotes, is it possible that they might be behind these 3 missing Bexar County teens? 3 of them in a week. Maybe, maybe not. But you know, if we weren't allowing human trafficking and border smuggling and 40 million illegal alien invaders being dumped strategically across our great country as potential sleeper cells waiting for a signal, you know, if we were on top of making sure none of that was happening, I'd be more confident that this could be something homegrown, but this is weird. 14-year-old Texas girl vanished from her home Monday, just days after missing teen Camila Mendoza Olmos disappeared near her home in the same city. Sophia Gabriela Peters Cobbs, 14, hasn't been seen since Monday evening when she left her home on Landon Ridge and Port Tranco Road in San Antonio around 7 p.m., the Bexar County Sheriff's Office said. She's now the 3rd Bexar County teen reported missing within a week. Human trafficking is big in Texas, says Danielle, especially border cities. Be mindful of surroundings. Never go out alone in the dark and carry a gun or a weapon. We are fighting the most corrupt government in history. Please stay prepared at all times. Let's get the beautiful young ladies home safe. Human trafficking is for real. This is horrible. So anyway, it's a hub for human trafficking, and we're praying that they're brought home safely. This is not good, people. This is why you have a bouncer at the door to your nightclub. America's the nightclub. There are people who got in fights and stole shit from other bars, damaged property. They're on the do not serve list. You're not welcome on this street coming into our establishment. And there's a whole list of people up on the wall. People that get arrested, people that are causing problems, people you kicked out, people your neighbors say, this is person's bad news. You run a check. You look at their ID, you validate that they meet the minimum requirements to be there, and they pay their cover charge. Or you don't come in, and you're certainly not going to come in and get free shit. You don't get to walk behind the bar. You don't walk into the kitchen and make yourself a sandwich. Get the fuck out of here. This is not about any particular group of people. It's not about men or women. It's not about skin color. It's not about which flying spaghetti monster you tend to believe governs over us in the sky. Doesn't matter which continent you came from, which country your parents were from. None of that shit matters. It matters how you act. And you're certainly not going to sneak in the back door here and start stealing our shit. That's the decision we have to make, and pray for the safe return of these 3 missing girls. You fear the worst, and that's why you check to block out as many known bad people as possible. So there's that. The Babylon Bee with another banger here. Here's an old man, kind of just, are you kidding me? Kind of says, man achieves American dream of working hard and paying taxes for 50 years so he can fund fraudulent Somali daycares. Yeah, take me now. Take me now. Kenneth, what's the next? Tax-funded strip leering centers? Yeah, the leering center. Well, someone might be leering at 14-year-old girls in San Antonio. Pray for their safe return. Dear Lord, if you're out there and listening and you got some angels to spare, why don't you go get the bad guys, if there are bad guys, and help bring those girls back in San Antonio. If you have the resources to spare, why don't you spring them today? In your name we pray. Amen. They say that angels are listening. All you have to do is ask. That wasn't asking to win the Powerball lottery, although I would be a good steward, I think. I was asking for help for those girls. But yep, strip leering centers. They fixed their sign. I'll show you that coming up. Now they're going to tell you like the Berenstain Bears. It was never a leering center. It was always a learning center. There was always a cornucopia on the fruit of the loom. It was the Berenstain Bears. No, it wasn't. It was always the Berenstain Bears. Berenstain. It was never the Berenstain Bears. It's always the Berensteins. Wasn't it? That's the Mandela effect. Nelson Mandela, he died a long time ago. No, he didn't. He's still alive. Well, now he is. No, he's not. He's still alive. Okay, but now he is. Well, yeah, now, but not then. Or was he then? It was always the learning center, not the leering center. Mo, why don't you open up the beering center? The beering center. But yeah, there you go. Here's a man in America. Man achieves American dream of working hard and paying taxes for 50 years so he can fund fraudulent Somali daycares. FML. Donald Trump Jr. shared this new Tim Waltz ad. I don't know if I can play with the music.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Of our cities.
I can't play it because
Minnesota.
Doggone it. But it's showing the cities burning in the BLM riots. Completely out of control. Democrats have overrun the state. They're shooting you on your porch if you're outside without COVID. You're getting robbed in your front yard. Disabled ladies are getting attacked in wheelchairs. Buildings are burning.
Or indulge in a shopping spree at one of our world-class boutiques. And behind
BLM shopping spree.
it all is strong leadership and inclusive policies.
Homeless encampments everywhere, filth, crime, destruction, burning cars, Democrat leadership. Welcome to Minnesota. Come for the leering, stay because you were carjacked. Americans are leering about Democrat theft more and more each day. They're leering about it. All right, Eric Daughtry report here. Trump administration freezes all child care payments to Minnesota in light of rampant Somali fraud.
Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment. Second, I've just signed and sent a demand letter to Governor Walz.
Can you believe we didn't have these systems in check? Nobody has been paying attention to what's been happening.
I required a full 360 review of these centers. This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, and inspections.
And third, we've launched a dedicated fraud reporting hotline and email address at childcare.gov. Whether you're a parent, a provider, a member of the public, we want to hear from you. Let me be crystal clear. ACF expects every state to uphold the highest standards of oversight, monitoring, and accountability for federal dollars. Minnesota is no exception.
We're committed to holding bad actors accountable. Regardless of rank or office, anyone who's involved in perpetrating this fraud against the American people should expect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Intrepid
Yeah, America needs an enema. This shit's everywhere. Patriot Warrior chiming in on the Rumble chat saying Bexar is pronounced bear. I'm sorry, how do you get bear from Bexar? It's reminding me of the howdy, 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 howdy. That's from Toy Story. It's a Pixar, not a Bexar. But unfortunately, he says Bexar is pronounced bear and they found her body. One of the girls or all 3? And it's all in the same place. This is awful. Awful. And you wonder if you'll ever know who did it. But to the people who are frustrated that we're not moving fast enough and we're not fixing enough, which I agree with. Look at this. I couldn't, Larry Elder's show, who's on the intro to this program, by the way. They say, I couldn't even imagine the destruction that these 2 idiots would have done to America. Just for 1 second, just glance at that and realize we were this close to having these 2 idiots destroying America for 11 months, stealing every dollar not nailed down to destroy this place. Deep state destructive Democrats. Being a libertarian shared this. Remember this lady? These mother effing daycares are not real. Remember that viral video? God, how long ago did that video come out? It feels like 1 trillion years ago. It's probably 4 months. Actually, I'm going to ask Grok now. Now I'm curious. When did those MFers are not real lady video come out? Maybe a year and a half? 2 years? 2. Okay. July 2nd of 23. 24. So it was 2.5 years? That was 2.5 years ago. Two and a half years ago. 24 July. 25 July. July to December. Another 2.5. Yeah, it's 2.5. Woo! Question of the day. Does that feel 2.5 years old? Does that video seem 2.5 years old? And if not, does it seem much newer or much older? James Woods is our spirit animal here in the group. By the way, hit like, hit subscribe to the TNAM Daily Show here on the New American Media. Send it out on X, text it to a friend and say, we're unpacking the news together. Invite your smart friends in. James Woods says, Republicans have the presidency, the Supreme Court, and the House, and the Senate. And yet, we don't have a voter ID law? Not a single crooked Democrat has been jailed, censured, impeached, or expelled. Taxpayers are being defrauded by the billions, and Republicans do nothing. So the Republicans don't do anything, and the Democrats do bad stuff. That's the best we got. Republicans do nothing. Democrats do really, really bad stuff. Like Obamacare, that's starting tomorrow, has no subsidizing, which is going to completely implode the healthcare system as they designed it to, they being the insurance companies who wrote it for Barack Hussein Obama, to come into America as a Trojan horse Manchurian candidate, collapse the system using the Cloward and Piven style of strategies to overwhelm and overburden a nation with unfunded liabilities so that it collapses in bankruptcy. And from the ashes can emerge a Marxist, Stalinist, Leninist, Orwellian, totalitarian hellscape nightmare. So forgive me if I need urgency. We're on borrowed time. They've been at this shit for decades with the help of many people pretending to be Republicans, pretending to be in opposition to this theft, this graft, this treason. Rhinos, Republicans in name only. That's why the America First movement makes sense. That's why MAGA makes sense. That's why Trump makes sense. Is America First, MAGA, or Trump pristine? Have they gotten everything right? Could they be compromised? Oh, we can have those questions. Those questions can vary. But how do you twist the tourniquet to stop the wound that the Barack Hussein Obama administration has left on this country for decades? The rot is everywhere from the Soros-funded district attorneys who are letting the dirtbags ruin every blue city. Take every city and turn it blue. Ruin it. Ruin the state. Add extra voters. Oh, free driver's license for all. Yeah, CDLs for everybody. Doesn't matter. You don't need to be able to read the road signs. Oh, really? Yeah. Just make these illegal U-turns in the middle of the freeways and keep vehicular homiciding entire families. No, nothing unsafe about that. Lake and Riley, and let's go through the laundry list of every illegal alien who's stolen the innocence from a woman or taken their lives when they should have never been allowed here in the first effing place. Ones with known criminal backgrounds, and ones that the people you couldn't provide some discernible reason why you would let them in the first place. So yeah, forgive me if I'm a little edgy on hurry up. Hurry the fuck up. Hurry up. Do you remember the tyranny they were pushing on us during COVID? It's what they want. They want to clamp down, shut down, destroy anybody in their way. And standing up to oppose this stuff vocally is not without challenges, hurdles, and problems. Potential problems. Difficulties, perhaps. Challenges. Concerns. Look at Nick Shirley. Look no further. Donut says, true story. That's how you say Bexar. You say it bear. And they're saying that they found the body, Patriot Warrior, Texas, the girl that vanished Christmas Eve. It's horrendous. I hope they can find it. Hey, anyone want to tell the Democrats? Anyone want to tell them? Isn't it kind of wild how the same radical feminists who screech about The Handmaid's Tale? See that over there? I've never watched it, but it's where women are subservient or something. The same radical feminists who screech about The Handmaid's Tale are now voting to mass import a culture that actually behaves like that. There are supporters of Sharia that want that to be the global operating protocol. And they've been instructed to go to war with people that disagree with them. You're aware of this, right? Or you're so busy just hating Trump that you're not even paying attention to your actions. That's happening today. They have to dress like a outdoor patio umbrella in 135-degree heat. Where are the feminists that say, yeah, that's treating a woman like a subservient human being? Yeah, we're totally against that. Well, if you are, then be about it. Theo Wold says, hey, if you're a Republican in a position of power, do us all a favor and stop tweeting about the Somali fraud. We're all tired of strongly worded tweets, dumb letters, useless subpoenas, and vague platitudes. Prove to us that you actually care about protecting your citizens and start arresting, denaturalizing, and deporting Somali fraudsters and holding the left-wing politicians that enabled them accountable. SBA says if nothing is done, it's revolution time. I mean, this is a begging for a redress of grievances. Actually, that's what I'll type in the reply. Americans have been begging and now screaming and demanding for a redress of grievances, and they ignore us. Yeah, we need to take our country back like yesterday. Moving on. What's this video? It's Dylan Shane. Is this a comedy skit? Is this a real skit? I don't know what I'm watching, just like every video.
If you're kicking out Somalis, you have to kick out everyone else. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
This person is saying if you're kicking out the Somalis, you have to kick out everyone else.
I'm speaking for all of my African brothers and sisters.
This person claims to speak for all of his African brothers and sisters. I don't think anybody can speak for any group of people, but all right, continue.
If you kick Somalis out, you have to kick all of them out.
He says if you kick Somalis out, you have to kick everyone out.
All of us, we all leave together.
I'll make that deal.
That's Brad Pitt and Inglourious Bastards. I'll make that deal.
How about you? You bitch, you make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
American citizens, I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
If you're kicking out.
And for anyone that wants to cry, racist, you're terrible. That was a clip from a Nazi hunting movie. So try to eat your own tail on that, you Ouroboros. Snake eating your own tail when the left attacks its own. Wait, Nazi hunter. Wait, you call us Nazi, but they're hunting Nazis. And you said I was racist because you played a clip from the Nazis who was hyperventilation. Try to make your local lefty hyperventilate today. Say when. All right, check this out. I don't know about this particular company, but you hear these claims everywhere. What Obama and the Democrats did with zero Republican support to pass Obamacare. We're just 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. And as Nancy Pelosi said, I can't wait to pass it so that we can find out what's in it. That's Obamacare. It'll be cheap, like the cost of your cable bill. You like your plan, you'll keep your plan. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Vote for Obamacare. Because we're going to write in there that the subsidies, they're gone. Collapse, Cloward Piven, single payer, communists take over 1/6 of the American economy. 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America into a hellhole. Yeah. Well, anyway, we've all heard these posts about how all of the systems have been built to bilk. Everybody's getting rich off of making you poor, and it's got to get reversed. Take a listen to this.
Where is this pharmacy?
My wife and I own this pharmacy, and we're a cost-plus pharmacy.
By the way, not an endorsement of, I don't know, you overpaying on cancer meds. Nope, not advertising cancer meds, not implying cancer meds work. I'm not a doctor. Consult your doctor. That's fine. But he's saying they're cost plus. They run this place. They do the cost plus a fee. And it's that simple.
Which means that we don't take insurance. We just charge the price of the medication plus $10. This medication is called imatinib, and it costs us $7 to buy. We add $10, so you're out the door, $17 with your medication. When Medicare pays for this drug, however, it costs them $2,400. This drug was filled 250,000 times in 1 year for a total of $600 million. So why are they paying this much for that medication? Well, insurance companies pay a middleman, the pharmacy benefits manager. And that person decides how much that medication is going to cost. Will that medication be covered? All of those questions go through the pharmacy benefits manager. And this person doesn't get paid just a flat fee. They get paid a percentage. So their incentivization is to raise the cost of the medication.
Shocking.
If every one of those scripts was filled at our pharmacy instead of through Medicare, it would have cost $4 million. That means that we are $596 million cheaper than the insurance.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Don't let yourself be overcharged as bad as Medicare is. Check your prices on forestparkpharmacy.com. We have a price checker.
There you go.
See everything. Send us a request for a medication price if it's not on there, and we'll take care of you. See you.
I don't ever go to a pharmacist, but if you do, for sure, go to Forest Park Pharmacy.
Not an
Where is this pharmacy?
My wife and I own.
Because I don't know who they are or what they're about. And that might have all been made by them as an advertisement. It may or may not be true. That's how you got to consume videos. You just got to assume, But like, how many times do you hear, well, if I walked in and didn't have insurance, my MRI would have only been $100. But since I have insurance, I had to pay $1,300. It's like, that's fucked up. That is so fucking crazy. That's crazy. What are we doing? Speaking of crazy, what are we doing? TMZ is reporting Linda Stevenson. Now, that's the wife of Bill Stevenson. Bill Stevenson is Jill Biden's ex-husband. Was found dead after a reported domestic dispute. The wife of Bill Stevenson, Jill Biden's ex-husband, was found dead after a reported domestic dispute.
Station 16, C14, minute 7 on the redirect. Cardiac arrest. 2337. Station 16.
The comments. Hey, TMZ, is there laughter in the background over there? Remember they were cheering and laughing that Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Disgusting pigs. Bill says, excuse me, but that's Dr. Jill Biden's ex-husband. That is the perfect comment. That is just people in the comments asking, where's Hillary? What dirt did she have on the diabolical Biden crime syndicate? Well, I don't know. Anything new about to come out on the Bidens? Clinton side? The wife of Joe Biden's wife's ex-husband. Wife's ex-husband. It's a little convoluted. She knew too much. I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled on that story. Oh, I don't have him in my intro. Maybe I should have this dude in my intro. Jesse Lee Peterson. They're having a debate over slavery and responsibility. This guy says, we came over, and has a theory on it, but it's not based in reality, Jesse Lee Peterson on the right sets it straight.
Came over here in slave ships. Was that racism?
No.
That wasn't racism?
Why do you say that was racism?
So he asks, coming over on slave ships, was that racism? Jesse Lee Peterson, no. Why would you say that was racism?
To take, capture, and force people to go somewhere that they don't want to go.
Okay, to take and capture people and force them to go somewhere they don't want to go. Right. Okay, right. We understand that part, but Jesse Lee Peterson says, but who were you talking about? Because the practice you're discussing...
And who were the racists promoting that, doing that?
The so-called white man.
The so-called white man taught hatred her whole life, venom in her eyes with a lie.
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
Black people were sold into slavery by blacks.
Okay. That's not true. They were sold into slavery by the blacks and the Arabs in northern Africa.
It was the Arabs who sold the blacks across the world.
And yeah, it's not like they were only coming to the United States. This was happening everywhere. And it was their own people who were selling them out. But she's been taught it's a whitey problem. This is the type of stuff the Obama doctrine has pushed out nonstop. Lies. Just to make sure that conservative white men, conservative white women would just shut up. Oh, you really want me to make an example out of you? You want me to frame you for some stuff, dig up some dirt and ruin your life? Get you kicked out of your job? Get you attacked somewhere? Yeah, you better shut up. Yeah, the message was made loud and clear by these mobsters. The Democrat mobsters. They're a domestic terrorist organization operating inside the borders of the United States. But they're a globalist terrorist organization too. And they've partnered with the deep state. They've taken over the deep state, or the deep state has taken over the Democrat Party. Either way, they've melded minds at this point. They've scrambled their eggs together. There's no separating them. The deep state, by definition, could not be MAGA, Make America Great Again, or America First, because they serve a global master. They think America and Americans have had it too good for too long, and we've got all sorts of guilt we should be guilty about, so give me money. So give me money. No, give me money. No, we're going to take money because we are angry about stuff that happened a long time ago. Not to me, but maybe people in my family lineage. And not by you, but maybe people in your family lineage. Yeah. So we're going to get them. That's what the Democrats have been teaching in their schools, in their media, from their Democrat politicians. But it was the Arabs in northern Africa, it was the blacks in Africa that were selling their own people into slavery everywhere. What was America? Well, America was a nation, the only nation, the first nation that fought a revolutionary war, a civil war. In a way, a lot of these wars are both civil war, world war, revolutionary war rolled into one. America fought a civil war in part, either to end slavery or that in effect ended slavery. It's a commendable thing. But all you see is anger and contempt in the eyes of these people talking with Jesse Lee Peterson. But yeah, it was the blacks and Arabs, says Jesse Lee Peterson, who sold North African people into slavery across the world.
It wasn't white people who just tiptoed over to Africa and just bought took white folks. They were being sold by...
And that is a good point in how you think white people are tiptoeing over from Europe and then just snatching up black people like they're not going to get noticed and that they're not going to get opposed? That's not what was happening. It was the indigenous people taking their own people and selling them, enslaving them. That doesn't happen without the support of traitors amongst them. You can't blame down the road for what your own people did to your own people, is what he's saying about Africa.
Other black people. And they're still doing that today.
Yeah, another great point. To this day in the Middle East and in Africa, they're still enslaving people. Oh no, not A Handmaid's Tale. Okay, but you want to import people that believe Sharia law should be the law of the land and that women should dress like outdoor picnic table umbrellas in 135-degree heat. Can't show your eyes. Why? Well, it's seductive, huh? What? Well, we just can't control ourselves around these beautiful women. It sounds like a self-control problem, pal. Not a problem with ladies. Ladies, are you kidding me? You want this in America? Just because they've partnered up with the useful idiots in the Democrat Party to help destroy the Republicans, and they're going to turn on you and destroy you as soon as they conquer? You're called a useful idiot. You're laughed at. You're mocked, left Democrats. You understand that? The Islamist supremacists, the Islamic supremacists who want to force Sharia on the world, they're laughing at you, and you're helping them try to transform this nation into something it never was, never should be allowed to become. And that's a place where women are second-class citizens. So feminists, where you at? Oh, that's right. You're partnering up with the bad guy who wants to impose their will upon you with force. Everybody's allowed to believe in whatever version of God you want, but you got to make your case. Invite them to your church, your mosque, your synagogue, your whatever. You got to come to God of your own free will and accord. If you do it under threat, then that's coercion. That's not real. That's assault. That's an ideological rape. That's not okay. That's bad. Very bad. But Democrats want to import that for some reason. And the slavery that they're discussing is still happening today in these areas.
In parts of Africa where blacks were enslaved by other blacks and Arabs.
We came over.
So, when can this conversation be added to America's K through 12 curriculum so we stop churning out misguided, manipulated, self-loathing, deep state Democrat zombies? That was a lot to type. Maybe that point makes sense. I don't know who this dude is, but he's had it. He's watching all the Somali invasion. He's like, hold on, what? I got a letter you're telling me for taxes and you want to do what? You're taking what for what?
Well, I got a letter from the IRS saying that I owe them some fucking money. You know what I say to that shit? Fuck you motherfuckers. I ain't paying you a bitch ass fucking thing. Cause all it's gonna do is go to some fucking politician's pocket or get sent to some daycare center ran by some ragamuffin bitch that don't even fucking know English. Cause you're telling me these fucking low IQ motherfuckers can come over here and scam you motherfuckers out of millions of fucking dollars? But God forbid I bust my fucking ass every fucking day just to provide for my family, and you wanna squeeze blood from a fucking stone? Yeah, you could suck my fucking dick. Cause ain't no motherfucking way that a group of people that have an average IQ of fucking 60 built a fucking multi-million-dollar network without somebody being fucking complicit. God forbid I get my motherfucking ass out the streets and bust my motherfucking ass doing shit the right way, and now you motherfuckers want to come and collect. Sounds like a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's alright. I'm gonna send you something. I'm gonna go down to Walgreens and get a stool sample pack and send you a box full of shit. Well, I gotta...
I don't know who this guy is. That was kind of funny. All right, I'm going to give him a follow. I don't know. I follow lots of people. Theo Vaughn just asks us, what are we paying taxes for? Yeah, you see, this is when things get dangerous. You see, you've pushed too far. You've gotten too greedy, deep state. You've squeezed too much. The American people have cried uncle, and you've ignored it, and you kept pulling, you kept lifting, you kept twisting. You've caused serious damage. Now the whole system is looking at it going, this is not a system worth protecting. This is garbage. What are we paying taxes for? That last guy was saying it. This guy's saying it. Hold on. You're stealing how many hundreds of billions of dollars to fund non-Americans coming over to commit crime, to take our housing, to take up our schooling, our education, to transform the fabric of our communities? Not contributing, but taking, running it all up on a credit card debt of $37 trillion that nobody voted for? Are you fucking kidding me? What are we even talking about? None of this is real. None of this shit is real. This cannot be real. Talking about the self-loathing once you go to the Democrat-run indoctrination camps to hate yourself. Yeah, self-loathing. Kenneth practices self-clothing. Well, you know. When Eve ate the apple, they're like, oh, we're naked. Or something like that. But the apple was just knowledge. And God would want us to be smart, right? We're supposed to have knowledge. I do still struggle with that one. Yeah, Theo Vaughn says, what are we paying taxes for? Milo says it's now clear a small number of modest, law-abiding, hardworking, mostly white Christian Americans are being forced to subsidize the entire rest of the world. That's the Obama doctrine. You know, we've had it too good, too long. We're going to balance that. We're going to take and we're going to give. We're going to redistribute. America's been a real bad place, and I'm here to fix that. And you Democrats are dumb enough to put me in office. Manchurian candidate, through and through. Let me repeat what Milo said. It's now clear a small number of modest, law-abiding, hardworking, mostly white Christian Americans are being forced to subsidize the entire rest of the world, the fruit of their labor snatched at gunpoint by ruling elites. If it doesn't end, things will get very ugly very fast. C3 says, hey, take a look at this. What percentage of the population pays federal income taxes? So who is most responsible for federal income taxes? 59% of the country who are white pay 70 to 75% of the taxes. Hispanic 19% pays 10 to 12%. Black 13% pays 6 to 8%. Asian 6% pays 8 to 10%. Other 3% pays 4 to 6%. Is that the white privilege that the left constantly talks about? We've been ripped off. Candace Owens says we're slaves, Theo, but they gave us iPhones, so we're not supposed to notice. So there's that. All right. Well, this could. Oh, you're stepping on the. Don't step on the.
Eric.
I'm trying to play this clip in Nimbus. Yes, we have a Nimbus sighting. Hey, everybody. Or hey, Nimbus. Everybody's saying hi to you. He is nuzzling on the computer. Got whiskers. Ah! Ah! I'm trying to do it. Ah! Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the grooming. Appreciate the grooming. It's the only grooming I like. Okay, well, this comedian's got thoughts on Erica Kirk. Sammy Obeid. Agree or disagree with his, his little take here.
Erica Kirk knew Trump before she knew Charlie. She actually won Trump's Miss Arizona pageant. Her parents are both from a military intelligence family. Her dad did Raytheon arms deals with Israel, probably unrelated. And Erica Kirk was part of running an orphanage in Romania where children went missing. enough children for Romania to permanently ban the orphanage and permanently ban Erica Kirk. Do you know how f***ed up you gotta be to get banned in Romania? Andrew Tate is the mayor there. You really gotta push some boundaries. Mind you, this is when Epstein was still active, so I'll let you connect the dots. By the way, I'm not suicidal. For the record, I am quite happy, okay? You heard it here. But the weirdest thing about Erica Kirk, she met Charlie Kirk, not on Christian Mingle. She went in to interview at his company, Turning Point USA. He said that he fell in love right away. Now, 4 years later, he's dead. And she has now inherited Turning Point USA. She's doing podcasts on it, too. Like, I'm so excited. Like, to my future wife, please wait 2 months after I die before doing a podcast. 3 months if it's my own. Come on. When you look at how fast she moved on, and then you look at how it started and how it ended, how it started was not romance. How it started was her going in for a job, and how it ended was her getting a promotion. So I'm just saying. It was probably Tyler. Erica Kirk.
Whew. It's a lot to unpack. Is any of it false? Type it in the comments. Does that make you feel some sort of way? All right, here is the CNN talking with Nick Shirley about the Minnesota fraud.
I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on, for years.
And why did I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children? They're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are...
Only one answered. That's weird to call during business hours and nobody's answering.
Legitimate business.
Have you seen the videos?
Well, as long as they say they're legitimate, then it's got to be true.
Purporting that some of these daycares...
purporting that a whole bunch of bullshit. Have you seen the videos? They're like purporting to be also sort of bullshit, right? The way she's asking is she's leading.
Don't have kids inside.
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
Done enough. I mean,
4 years. Yes, they have been. Nick, surely he jests. No, he does not, Kenna. So that's CNN trying to take them out. They're going to try to Elon Musk, Nick Shirley. And that's the point. You saw what they were willing to do to the average American during COVID. There's no abuse. There's no amount of abuse that was beneath the deep state Democrats and what they were willing to do to the average American. Most people succumb to that kind of pressure. That's what was so different about President Trump. He had the resources to fight, to push back, to not get lawfared out. Do we have to say he's perfect? Do we have to worship at the altar or join a cult? No. But if you're directionally aimed on many of the important issues, I'm going to let it slide. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Hello, David, who's here for it. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon. Hope everyone's new year will be blessed beyond belief. Agreed. Dear Lord, bless all of us this coming 2026 year with incredible blessings of health, wealth, wisdom, and love. In your name we pray. Amen. Hey, David, you missed the question of the day. We said, are there any New Year's Eve / New Year's Day traditions that you have up there in Ontario? I'd love to hear. All right, I will direct your attention now to our X account. That's The New American Media. We're at American_media_. And I'll share you this too. I haven't been on this site in a long time. I really need to, but if all else fails, The New American Media is on thenewamericanmedia.com. Yeah, I haven't really updated these posts in a while. But I should. Thanks for the reminder, me. I'll have future me address that. But here you go at the top of our X account at American_media_. This is the link to our Patreon. Patreon.com/The New American Media. You can sign up. Please sign up regardless, at least for the free version. And if you think you can come up with $10 a month, please consider signing up. But that's pinned at the top of our X feed, our Patreon link. All right, here, take a look at this. This is the Washington Monument grabbing attention as they test projections for the upcoming New Year and Freedom 250 celebration. Expect brilliant new light displays each night from New Year's Eve to January 5th. Oh, take a look. This is pretty cool. Can you see it full screen? Yes, you can.
See this, the Washington Monument getting a whole new look tonight. Take a look at your screen here. These colorful projections were spotted on the more than 500-foot tall obelisk, and we reached out to the National Park Service.
Is it obelisk or obelisk? Type in the comments. Is it obelisk or obelisk? Like O'Reilly Auto Parts, or obelisk like or O'Reilly? Obelisk or obelisk?
Foot tall obelisk, and we reached out to the National Park Service to see exactly what all this is for, which looks like they're maybe doing some testing as they prepare for a special lighting of the monument this week, starting on New Year's Eve. The organization Freedom 250 says that from December 31st to January 5th, each night there will be a projection showing the story of our nation's discovery, expansion, independence, and future.
Why not keep it up permanent?
All part of the big America 250 celebration. And Steve Rudin, that, even though these are just test patterns, it looks like, still mesmerizing, really beautiful.
They caught our eye, and we were like, wow, this is really neat. Now wait until they get the real thing up there, and that's just in another 2 days, so 48 hours to go.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
And judging by what we're looking at right now, there are probably many people who are, oh, there's a live view of it.
That's great.
And that's from our camera atop the
Very
Altair.
cool.
So you can see they're testing it, and they're probably like, yes, we're getting it to work, finally. And it's just a cool little sight to see, and very nice and clear. This is the best we've seen it look since you guys took the video earlier. All
right, so keep your eyes peeled on that. That's kind of neat, huh? I like that we're celebrating our 250th birthday. Here's another one. Look at this. Go side by side. It's man allegedly walking on the moon. Here's a question of the day. Yes or no? America walked on the moon. Agree or disagree? America walked on the moon. Type that in the comments. The Illumination of America. Telling the story of America. It's going to play at the top of every hour. From 7 p.m. to midnight-ish. And then fireworks, January 1st and January 5th. View from public space around the Washington Monument, or watch online at freedom250.org. That's pretty cool. Just, every now and then to get something positive, something neat going. It's just so much doom and gloom. I can't fucking take it. Nobody wants to tune into to anger and rage every day. It gets old. I try to balance. I have Kenneth's voice saying vibe check in my head sometimes when I do rants, and I get particularly. But that's neat. I like that. This is cool. I don't know. Can't something just be cool?
Not as an idea invented in the minds of men, but as a land discovered.
They have music in the background, so I will stop it because they're stupid about their copyright. But there it is. Yeah, it's going to be like a movie screen. You can watch it. I got to hang out on a rooftop at one of these similar areas recently. Well, last year for the inauguration at a media headquarters, looking over at the obelisk. Or obelisk. Is it obelisk or obelisk? Kenneth, it's going okay. So you hear it obelisk? I hear it as obelisk. No, it's not Washington's Wang, although it is quite phallic. Danced on the moon. Yeah, we did a disco dance on the moon. David says America never walked on the moon at that time, in my opinion. I'm open to all the conversations. Anyway, let's take a listen here. Jeffrey Mead puts this video out reacting. So this is him reacting to her. Then it's Elon reacting to him reacting to her. Now it's me reacting to Elon, reacting to him, reacting to her. This is meta. But take a look at what's going on in this country. Is this okay? This is what America needs to be striving toward, or this is what needs to be reversed immediately? What say you? Here's this one.
First things first, I'm actually so shocked that Trump is attacking us. I think Trump should be thanking us in multiple ways, and I'm going to explain. First things first, I think we are a good example of what the American dream can look like. Like, Somali Americans, and it's making me sad and it's funny. Like, I know Somali people are very funny. We're like the class clan who also happens to be valedictorian. Somalis in Minnesota are so successful. I take multiple trips a year to Minnesota, and I leave so inspired. You have Somali-owned law firms, Somali-owned pharmacies, Somali-owned everything you can think of, and it's so inspiring to see that what my community could do in just 30 years. Literally, we came to this country not speaking English, not knowing anything. We're Black, Muslim, we're immigrant, and we're able to be that successful. It should be really applauded.
No, you guys are not that successful in Minnesota. 89% of immigrant Somali households are on some type of welfare. If you look above my head, you'll see that 23% are on cash. If we go over to food stamps, you'll see that 62% are on food stamps. If we go to Medicaid, you'll see that 86% are on Medicaid. So 89% of Somali immigrant families that have children are on some type of welfare in the United States. 89%. And this is coming from the Center for Immigration Studies. Now, in the vast majority of cases, if someone is on Medicaid, they are a net recipient in tax dollars, meaning the value of the benefits they receive from the government is more than they pay into the federal tax system. Again, that means they're a net recipient. They are taking from the system more than they're contributing to the system. So essentially 9 out of 10 Somali immigrant families that have children are taking more in dollars than they are giving to our federal tax system. I wouldn't define that as success. Let's keep it real. We should also be paying attention to this and just not ignoring it. But let's go back. Look at the light gray. It says Somali immigrant households with children over 10 years in the US. So these families have had over 10 years in the United States. And there's only a 3% difference in the amount that are on Medicaid and not. So after they've been in the US for 10 plus years, 83% of these Somali immigrant families with children are still on Medicaid. Again, that is not success. And that's not being racist or hating. That's just reality. So please do not come preaching in our face something that is not true. Anyway, that's all I got for now, guys. Just a reminder, free email newsletter. Send it out every morning. The link is in my bio. It's a great place to get direct information from me. And I go more in detail there than I do in many of these videos. So the link's in my profile. When you click it, you'll see the screen right here. Just drop your email in, hit subscribe, and you'll be good to go. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.
So, convincing? Elon says no assimilation, just fraud and not contributing via work. This cannot be allowed. This is insanity. Check out yesterday's show about no tax on tips. Blocked by Democrats as Somali fraud is exposed. And Venezuela-U.S. land war begins. Check out yesterday's program on Rumble, tagged here on X. And Wokeness shares this. Allegedly, here, full screen it. Kenneth Shop said, welfare, they've got what I need. Yeah, Wayfair. Yes, the Van Allen radiation belt. People say, well, we couldn't have gotten out of that. Well, how do we have satellites? And how do we walk on the moon? How are we doing Mars? How does any of this stuff work? Kenneth's like, the firmament. Isn't that like a bubble dome over the top of the world? Like, in Truman Show. It's fun topics. All right, let's take a look at this. Libs of TikTok is sharing what they claim to be this trans extremist terrorist. Went by the name of Audrey Hale. I think it was a guy that was, or no, it was a girl. I don't know. Whatever. Audrey Hale, the trans killer who killed 6 in a Christian school, was targeting Christians and white kids. And then Biden's FBI buried this, allegedly. Let me ask this to Grok. Is this true? See what it says about this journal entry. No, the claim is partially true, but overstated. Misleading. There were writings hating religion and Christianity and resentment toward Christian views, conflicting with her gender confusion. Anti-white sentiment and racial references, leaked pages referring to wanting to K little crackers with white privileges, considering another school but rejecting it because it was predominantly black while noting love for the black community, recent releases highlighting hatred of whites. The writings show ideological hatred, including toward Christians and white people, contributing to the target choice. But the attack wasn't officially classified as purely hate-motivated against these groups. The claim simplifies a complex case with mental health issues, planning for fame, and personal grievances. So, in other words, you cannot dispute the claim. Why did you say all of that backward and convoluted? This is me arguing with Grok. No, I can and did dispute parts of the claim. Yeah, I'm noticing that AI is a little bit more stern. It used to be a little bit more people-pleasing. Now it's a little more entrenched in their original opinions. Okay. It's saying that the Metro Nashville police investigation closed and concluded the main driver was notoriety and fame inspired by Columbine. Just because Nashville police didn't state the obvious, that doesn't make it false. You dig? Let's see what Grok says. Yeah, I dig what you're saying. The writings speak for themselves, and they're pretty damn obvious on the hatred front. Okay, the police didn't ignore it. They just said the overarching driver was fame and notoriety, obsessed with Columbine, wanted books about her. The hate elements as supporting factors in target selection. They explicitly ruled it wasn't primarily a hate crime or a grudge driven in the legal sense. You can call that downplaying the obvious if you want. Plenty do, especially given the delays in releases. But the raw hatred in the pages is undeniable. So then say that and don't dispute the claims that are verified in her writings. Fair enough. Anyway, that's me arguing. I should do a new segment called Arguing with AI. Yeah, I don't know. It's about middle school, picking and choosing, predominantly black high school, and black people I love. Covenant school, alternate target, second choice. That's a predominantly white school. White people I hate. So she hates people that look like her, and she loves people that don't. Nealon says, this is what happens when anti-white hatred is pushed in America. Yep. That's the bad kind of grooming. We shared this Nick Shirley video when he goes into the CCOP prison.
Now when an inmate walks into this door, he never leaves. Here are some of the most dangerous people in the world. You can see that they have their tattoo.
But they got music here, so I'm going to back out on it. But prior, I mean, that was a 11-minute video taking that tour. Nick Shirley, give him some
Their
love.
tattoos, MS-13 is tattooed on their foreheads, Barrio 18. All these guys were once prideful and running the streets of El Salvador. Now they are locked behind bars for the rest of their lives. And he is taking them through a workout where they're doing lunges and they're going to touch their toes for 10 seconds. The guards here would have everything.
It's just too much music. I don't want to risk it. But watch it and subscribe to Nick Shirley. Scott Adams brought this up, and he reposted Chamath Palihapitiya. Chamath, do I know this guy? He does that podcast. I don't. What doesn't say what podcast it is. I don't know. The All In? No, it's not that. I don't know. Anyway, he says he had no idea that this existed until today. Could this be the way to fix America? I added that. People can make billions of dollars by ratting out the fraud. What is Quitam? Q-U-I space T-A-M. Via Gemini, it says Quitam is a legal provision that allows a private individual known as a relator to file a lawsuit on behalf of the government to recover funds lost to fraud. The term comes from the Latin phrase quitam pro domino rege quam pro se ipso in hoc parte sequitur. I never took Latin, sorry. Meaning, he who brings the actions for the king as well as for himself. In California, these actions are primarily governed by the California False Claims Act, the CFCA, which is modeled after the federal version but tailored to protect state and local taxpayer money. How Quitam uncovers fraud in California. The CFCA is designed to incentivize insiders, employees, contractors, or competitors to expose schemes that the government might not otherwise detect. Common types of fraud reported: healthcare, Medi-Cal fraud, overbilling, upcoding services, or billing for treatments that were never provided. Contractor fraud, using substandard materials on public construction projects or inflating labor hours. Grant and education fraud, misusing state funds provided to schools, universities, or research institutions. Procurement fraud, conspiring to rig bids for state contracts or providing defective products to state agencies. Reverse false claims, intentionally underpaying money owed to the state, hiding a debt, or underreporting natural resources extracted from state land. The process filing, under seal. To uncover fraud without alerting the bad actor, the process follows a specific cloak and dagger procedure. Confidential filing. The whistleblower files the lawsuit in secret, under seal. Not even the defendant knows they are being sued yet. Government investigation. The California Attorney General or local prosecutor has 60 days, often extended, to investigate the claims privately. Intervention decision. The government decides to either intervene, take over the case, or decline, let the whistleblower pursue it on their own. Whistleblower rewards and protections. This is where it gets interesting. California offers some of the strongest incentives and protections in the nation to encourage people to come forward. So in the scenario where there's a potential whistleblower reward, government intervenes. 15 to 33% of the total recovery. Whistleblower proceeds alone would get 25 to 50% of the total recovery. You have the incentive to call this stuff out. Do it. Quitam. The Smithsonian needs to add investigation fraud to its white culture info sheet. Aspects and assumptions of whiteness. Oh. Yeah. Add investigation fraud. All right, so what's going on with Lauren Boebert? She finished an AVC Act, passed the Senate unanimously, H.R. 131, complete construction of the Arkansas Valley Conduit, providing tens of thousands of Southeast Colorado residents with access to clean water. Looking forward to President Trump signing it. But he vetoed it. Right? I don't know. They're saying Trump vetoed it, but then someone in the comments was saying, hang on, let me ask Grok, because this is a confusing story. Why did Lauren Boebert water plan not pass? Did she not vote to fund it, or did Trump veto? It was trending, and it's a bit of a complicated story. Hang on, it's way too much. TLDR version. I don't need 7 paragraphs. Just tell me Cliff Notes. Passed Congress unanimously. It didn't become law because President Trump vetoed it. His first veto of the second term, saying it unfairly burdens federal taxpayers and should be locally funded. Boebert fully supported and pushed the bill. She's pissed about the veto and calls it very disappointing and hints at possible retaliation over her Epstein files push and says this isn't over. She wants a veto override. Yet another good member of Congress calling out President Trump, insinuating he's compromised from the Epstein stuff. Boebert continues, after the unbelievable amount of fraud uncovered in the Somali migrant communities of Minnesota, mass deportations should be a given. That's no longer an extreme position, Lauren Boebert says. It's the moderate position and should be the mainstream position. At this point, denaturalization should be fully on the table. Anyone who is afraid to say that is fully on board with the wholesale raping and pillaging of our taxpayer funds at the hands of people who hate our country. Laura Ingram says, no one on earth is surprised that CNN appears to side with Somali fraudsters. 3.5 minutes. I'm not going to watch it. Check out the video. Scott Jennings on CNN. Yeah, CNN is just off their rocker still. Scott Jennings says the left sees no difference between American citizens and illegal aliens, and in fact prioritizes the latter over the former. The erasure of borders is the erasure of a country. Check out this chat.
Make this about Abrego Garcia, then it seems like, oh, that's something that happens over there to this person that doesn't involve me. The key point here is ICE illegally held Abrego Garcia without a removal order, the basic legal document needed. And so when you look at that, it can happen to any of us. Moreover, ICE just recently signed a contract. Yes, it can happen to any of us.
Are you
ICE just
alien?
Recently. I don't know what I don't.
not.
People aren't illegal, so undocumented
you're a citizen of the United
Well, if
States.
you don't have
He's
the
not.
opportunity, if you don't have,
People aren't illegal. Yeah, they are.
I don't. People aren't illegal, so undocumented.
Yes, people are illegal. That's the dumbest shit answer. She's so disingenuous. Such a weasel.
Happen to any of us.
Are you a
ICE
legal
just
alien?
recently. I don't know what I don't.
not.
People aren't illegal, so
You're a
undocumented.
citizen
People aren't illegal. Yeah, they
of the
are.
United States.
Well, if you don't have
He's
the
not.
opportunity, if you don't have the opportunity to fight to have due process, then how can
Is he an
anybody
illegal
say
alien
that?
or not?
I don't call people illegal aliens. I think that's a
Is he
slur.
an illegal alien?
I think that's a slur being accurate. What a dope.
I don't call people illegal aliens. I think that's a
Is he an
slur.
illegal alien? Is he in the country illegally?
Is he here undocumented? Yes.
Is he an illegal
But if I
alien?
may have the professional courtesy to finish my point,
be
even more
honest about
concerned, I'm not the liar at the table. Believe me.
Believe me. Yeah, we really dislike you. You are the liar at the table.
Is he an illegal
But if I
alien?
may have the professional courtesy to finish my point,
be
even more
honest about
concerned, I'm not the liar at the table. Believe me.
I'm not the liar at the table.
More concerned, I'm not the liar at the table. Believe me.
Be honest about it.
But I
You're
think
lying right
what's more,
now.
I'm not lying. But please, if you can give me the courtesy to finish my point, I think it's very concerning. Make this about Abrego.
Wow, who is Tiffany Cross? Yuck. Whew. Independent journalist in Washington State confronting people at an address listed as a Somali daycare center. Check this out.
And we sort of did. We saw the same thing, you know, the windows with vinyl covering, can't see inside. We ring the doorbell, but actually somebody responds to us. Hey, is this the Gosh Family Childcare?
No.
It's not the Gosh Family Childcare.
No.
Okay, what's the name of the childcare here?
I don't know.
I ask, has this place ever been a childcare? The woman says no. But obviously Washington state records tell a completely different story.
Yeah, this specific address is locked into Washington state records as a daycare.
Yeah.
It's locked into like the Google paid for the business.
Yep.
Is this address.
Right? And it's up to date with licensing. The numbers here.
Okay, so we just visited Dagosh Family Childcare. This address was...
Oh, Dagosh. We've caught more fraud, maybe.
Confirmed online. They get $23,260 in October.
They have made $210,000 just this year.
And how many kids again is this place registered for?
Oh, that's the fun part. 3.
3?
Yep. It's never been a daycare and they're licensed for 3 kids. Do this everywhere. Yeah, that lady on the CNN, she slur is an idiot. She slur is. So yeah, decentralizing Doge is very helpful. Make this everywhere and make it so that the people finding this out and reporting it can get that TAM. Get 33% of what they find. Confiscate the stolen money. $210,000, give 33% of that. Give 70 grand to the people exposing it. You'll see this shit clean up real quick. Because I've had it. Absolutely had it. What is this? Libs of TikTok says a real quote that a source gave the City Journal. The largest funder of Al-Shabaab is the Minnesota taxpayer. Al-Shabaab is a Somali-based Islamic terrorist group who has killed more U.S. citizens than any other Al-Qaeda affiliate and is also Al-Qaeda's wealthiest component. Wow. Look at that. According to Libs of TikTok. And DNI, Director of National Intelligence, is describing and explaining Al-Shabaab, Sunni Islamic terrorist group. Seeks to overthrow Somali federal government, expel foreign forces from Somalia. Yeah, this is an invasion of Minneapolis and Columbus, Ohio, and other places in America. Cam Higbee went to 4 more Somali child care locations today, and 2 told me they weren't healthcare. They weren't child care despite receiving hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars. One of which claimed they weren't a child care, received over $800,000 since 2023. And it's all on camera and it will all be recovered, says Cam Higbee. Nick Shirley's right-hand man, David, is going full throttle, no games played, says Gunther Eagleman.
I filed a formal criminal complaint against Tim Walz for violating Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. So there's an investigation ongoing, and I think Tim's going to have a bad day, and he deserves it because he allowed this fraud because he wanted the voting block that the Somalis represent, because they all vote in a block, and it's 100,000.
He sold out America for money. That's treason.
150,000. Who knows how many? But it's so bad now that when we go to a facility, they're already screaming, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley. I filed a...
Here's a report on Somali fraud in Ohio from the coerced nurse. Is there volume? No volume on this. Well, this is just researching 4 daycares opened on the same exact day. Oh, I'm sorry, 40. How does one closed Somali and shell organization have over 40 daycares in Columbus, Ohio? How do 40 plus begin on the same exact day? How much funding are they getting from the state? Are they legitimate child care centers? Not so proud that my state would allow this to happen. Fix Ohio. Deb recorded this from yesterday's show. I'll play this because it's kind of funny. It reminded me of a new impression I need to put on my list.
Well, it was so shocking, Deb. I don't know how I could have.
She was having a conversation about how she'll listen to the TNAM Daily Show while on the loo. I was scrolling through comments and I just started laughing and reading it. So she thought it was funny. So then I responded to her thinking it was funny.
I don't know. I couldn't have avoided it if I tried. It was kind of funny. Yeah, it's like Triumph the insult comic dog. Yes, yes, yes. Brian's show gives me a lot of ideas for me to poop on. Was that serious?
That's a pretty decent Triumph the insult comic dog.
Brian's show gives me a lot of ideas for me to poop on.
Gotta have some fun, right? Thanks to Deb for that. Make sure that you're tagging us on X at American_media_. That's funny. Of course, check out Strictly Football yesterday. Talking football. All right. Leah Rain says, it gets worse by the minute. Somali gangs ran sex ring in 3 states. 29 people indicted in a sex trafficking ring spanning 3 U.S. states and allegedly run by Minneapolis-based Somali gangs. It just gets worse by the minute. Feds covered up the Ohio adoption hub who sold children to Somali sex gangs, allegedly, according to Leah Rain. Not familiar with her. Not sure how legit this is, but the accusations are spinning. Do some research and digging into them. I would type a little bit more, but I have Nimbus right in front of me here he's right here in front of my keyboard, so I can't really reach to type, but I would look into that. Libs of TikTok. Wait, a Somali organization which was flagged for major fraud donated money to the Columbus mayor and other Ohio politicians and then continued receiving millions in tax dollars despite failing an audit, industrial scale corruption and fraud. So they're being funded and then they're taking that funding and giving it to the politicians that funded them. They're fucking stealing from all of us. Do you get it yet? C-Bus Truth says, here's a fun little story of Columbus area Somali fraud that dispatcher alerts somehow missed. The fraudsters in this story donated $5,000 to Mayor Ginther in exchange for hundreds of thousands of dollars from Columbus governor. City of Columbus. There we go. Democrat Katie Wilson in Seattle's mayoral race gives her first speech. Just listening to her words for what's coming when you elect Democrats. Never elect a Democrat.
So we're going to be reviewing the ways that the city is spending money, and I think we're going to have to do that given the size of the budget deficit. And I am not averse to ending spending on programs that were maybe well-intentioned when they were first implemented but aren't fulfilling their goals. So we're going to be doing the very best to be the best stewards of public resources we can. I do think that we will need to pursue new progressive revenue in order to fund our priorities and make sure that we're delivering services to the people of Seattle.
New progressive revenue.
There's several progressive tax options I proposed as part of my platform, and so we're going to have city staff looking into developing those into legislation. Don't know yet exactly what the timeline is going to be on that.
If you stop giving money out to people who are not American citizens, locking up the bad people who are lowering your property values, causing crime and chaos across your city, and just helping your residents, maybe people wouldn't be fleeing, and maybe you wouldn't have a budget shortfall. More taxes on the way in Seattle. Seattle is screwed, says Wall Street Apes. Progressive revenue equals more taxation. Defiant L's says, this might be the 2028 Democrat nominee, by the way.
Shout out to my fellow radicals in the United States who believe crazy things like a full-time job should be enough for you to live, and also, believe in crazy radical things like if you kill someone, there shouldn't be impunity, and also who believe really crazy radical.
Wait, what? That's what your Democrats are doing. You were hawking the Minnesota Freedom Fund, along with Kamala Harris and everybody else, to let your violent rioters in the 2020 George Floyd Summer of Love riots, the Democrat-driven riots, pulling the violent people who are threatening the health and welfare of the citizenry. You were supporting the bad guys, but now you're what? Pretending to be for the good guys against the bad guys? Make it make sense.
Things like you should get a stimulus check without having to bail out a corporation for it, or that you should get a stimulus check without your employer, if you work for one of these huge conglomerate employers, sending you into harm's way and being completely immune from any accountability for it.
Sending you into harm's way and being completely immune for any liability for it. Sis, there's no context. You're not making any sense. That doesn't make sense.
For that. Shout out to my fellow radicals who think that, we should live in a humane, advanced society.
Humane, advanced society. Looking at her cliff notes. I think she's reading from her script, just off camera. Nope, just me cutting up lemons, as one does.
And that we shouldn't be under the thumb of a $7 minimum wage and, racist systems.
Oh, they're racist systems. Are they racist systems?
Racist systems, because because that just benefits whoever the people are in power to already be in power.
What?
So, shout out to my radicals who think that maybe one way that we can deal with a lot of the shortfall that we have is to do things like legalize marijuana and tax the commerce on that so that we can fund our schools. Or, tax the rich. Maybe we can tax the rich so that people who have helipads on their house or near their house can help chip in for black school districts that are
to chip in for only black school districts. Right. As if people with helipads aren't chipping in. As if what are you taking from them? 70%, 80%? I mean, at what point are you running people out?
Black school districts that.
No, how about all school districts? Why you gotta divide all the time, AOC?
People who have helipads on their house or near their house can help chip in for black school districts that are perpetually underfunded.
Perpetually underfunded.
How about we do that?
Underfunded, or you're so bloated and you're wasting tons of money through the teachers' unions? I think there's so much waste and fraud and abuse in the schooling systems, which is why the Democrats support them so much, because they take that money and fund the Democrats. It's that Ouroboros, snake eating its own tail. Adam Carolla says, I stand by my, if she was fat and middle-aged, no one would ever listen to a word she said. That's Adam Carolla's take. I don't know if David says she's a terrible actress, aka Congresswoman. Kenneth, AOC, I'll have a Bud Light, please. Oh no, AOC. I know. Does anyone even pay attention to her? Scott Adams thinks she can win the presidency. Just, you can't underestimate her. And there is some common sense stuff mixed in with the crazy. But yeah, until you fix the education system and the media, I mean, there will be Democrats doing goofy voting. It's just going to happen. Unless you can fix the media, unless you can fix the education indoctrination system. I wish we'd be prioritizing our schooling and our media a little bit more. Shocking unearthed footage shows parents pretending to drop kids off at a Minnesota daycare center. Elon says the Somali scams have been happening for at least a decade and got bigger and more brazen every year when the authorities like Trader Tim Waltz refused to do anything. Oilfield Rando says, what? Senate wants another $5.6 billion for bringing in foreigners and giving them welfare? Rand Paul says, watch his so-called allies of the president Vote for continuing billions for refugees. I will vote no, and I've introduced legislation to end all welfare for all immigrants, including refugees. Yes. Come here and bust your ass. You know what? We like that kind of energy. Come here and steal our shit. Fuck you. It's pretty straightforward. Wow. Mayor of an American city is now waving the flag of a foreign country on American soil in order to remain politically viable. We are under foreign occupation. Would you look at this? I gotta mute it because of the music. Look at this. Is it worse or better with music? Learn from these streets. I want to see an edit where it's just like the squeaky shoes. It's like yeah. Oh, I love you, Rainbow Cat. I'm gonna bump it. I'm gonna fist bump it. I got my Daisy Duke short shorts on. Look at my Daisy Duke short shorts. I'm dancing. Look at me. Here's Somali. So hands up, doing the swim, doing the wave. Stomp the shoe, couple of times. Hey, thank you. Here's the mic. Hey, girls, to dance with me. Look, I'm gonna go to the right, to the left. Okay, I'll just squeak. Are they following me? Okay, I'm getting a little tired here. Okay, guys. I'm doing the swim. Do the swim. Yep. Hurry up. Doing the move. Okay. Oh, everybody say hip hop. Hooray. Oh, hey. Okay, you guys follow me? I can't see behind you. Why do you have your faces covered up? I don't know. Just vote for me in the next election because I'll stay with the Democrats. I'll keep stealing money. Fist bump. Yeah, you're a rainbow cat. Yeah, I'm gonna back it on up with my short shorts, and I'm gonna hippity hop away with the short shorts. Yep. Oh, there's a rainbow cat dancing. Squeak. Hey, hip hop, hooray! Oh, hey. So can somebody please add that over top? You need that basketball squeaky. It's like basketball shoes on a gymnasium floor. Squeaking with the shoes. Hip hop, hooray. Everybody to the left, to the right. Good grief. Talking about change, David says, unless you get rid of taxes, the Federal Reserve, and use your own money, it won't change. Don't bring me down. I don't want to take the black pill today, but you're not wrong. Representative Josh Williams says, myself, along with 40 of my colleagues in the Ohio legislature, are demanding that the Ohio Department of Children and Youth begin unannounced inspections of child daycare centers receiving public dollars. If they refuse to comply, they can expect a subpoena. Good. Make this happen. Josh Williams. Well, take a listen. Donald Trump Jr. talking with Nick Shirley.
They're so mad. The Somalians are so mad because can you imagine? For years, you're at the dinner table talking with your family about how everything's good. Oh, we don't need to worry because the government and whatnot. I mean, 81% of these people are on welfare, but on top of that, they're collecting millions of dollars for these companies. Tax exempt, by the way, especially the daycares. So can you imagine how mad they are now? Like, that's why they're right now, there's, like, people are so upset. Like, there's, like, bounties on me here in Minnesota because people are so upset as far as the fraud that's being exposed because they know their time's up and they know everyone's just sick and tired of this happening inside their own state and across America.
What have some of those threats been?
Yeah, there was apparently like a bolo that they used. That's the word.
Be on lookout.
That some people told me it was on me, and I can't reveal too much just because I don't want to reveal. But like, yeah, lots of messages, death threats, obviously on social media, and then it's just not the most safe thing for me to be moving around freely right now.
I think that's fair. I mean,
Sad state of affairs. Elon says it's because fraudsters want to K him for telling the truth. What's this story here? This is a pretty cool story. Let's check it out. Shaquille O'Neal. I've always sort of liked Shaq. This is CBS Evening News, though, so don't like them.
Shaquille O'Neal met 24-year-old Jordan Wilmore in Kemah, Texas. He didn't expect to meet his match.
I actually found out about him through jealousy. I thought I was
I should find out about him through jealousy. I gotta work on my Shaq impression.
I thought I was the tallest, handsomest cop in the world.
Shaq, who has several law enforcement titles himself, learned about Wilmore's quest to become an officer.
That's a huge dude right there.
And wanted to know more.
On this, because it's commendable that a kid wants to be a cop. I love cops.
Back in September, Steve Hartman shared the story of how Wilmore was encouraged to pursue basketball his whole life because of his height.
It was hard for me to share like my dreams or, you know, the stuff I wanted to do growing up because it was, well, you just got to focus on basketball because it can make you millions.
If you got a phone call tomorrow, the NBA, $1 million, or stay here and be a cop in Texas.
Stay here.
You want to think about it?
No, I'll stay here.
But after completing the police academy, Wilmore fell short of passing the state exam by 1 point. So Shaq jumped in to help Wilmore rebound. He agreed to pay for Wilmore's expenses for the next 5 months so he can focus on the exam.
I let him know that he had my full support, so I'm gonna be on you, brother. Make sure you get it done.
Shaq does a lot of cool stuff. Kudos to Shaq. Yeah. Stephon Diggs got arrested for strangling his chef and stuff. We talked about it on Strictly Football yesterday. And then the Cowboys released his brother from the team. Who knows? That whole family, man. Weird things going on with the Diggs family. There's this time Vikings player Brian Robinson asked around about who would be the last teammate you would let date your sister. Nimbus, you can be anywhere, just not on the keyboard button. Anyway, I play it, but you get what that is. All right, Minnesota fraud scandal is just the tip of the iceberg. Scott Jennings talking about it on CNN.
That nothing is being done, that no one is being held accountable, that this was just let to run rampant is completely false.
No, that's not completely false. She's a liar. She could not possibly know that. And her repeating that is obvious propaganda. And it's got to be a lie because it's unknowable. It's so likely to be true. And there's no way to prove it's false, especially now. Her saying this is super suspect.
That nothing is being done, that no one is being held accountable, that this was just let to run rampant is completely false.
Yes, they did let this run rampant. That's completely true.
Well, some people have been held accountable, but I think in the opinion of most...
A couple of people, a handful, under 100, I think was the number.
Republicans, not nearly enough. And truthfully...
Not close to near enough. Not even 1%.
Until somebody in a...
And it's not just about Minneapolis. It's about every city in every state of this country. This is the plan that they've used everywhere.
Position of power, until somebody in a position in Minnesota, elected position, who was in charge of administering this or having some oversight over it goes to jail, it's honestly never going to stop. Look what's going on in blue states across the country. $9 billion in Minnesota, $70 billion in fraud in California, cooking the crime stats in Washington, D.C. When is someone in a position of power going to go to jail for the rampant fraud?
Hold on a second.
What I am telling you, though, is in the case of these states and locales, this is public money, taxpayer money.
Sure.
People get elected. They're supposed to run these
The DOJ
programs.
is doing their job every single day.
About Tim Walz, the Medicaid program is run by the state.
The DOJ is prosecuting
and he bragged about putting more money into this daycare
system
that is obviously rife with fraud.
Time. That nothing.
Yeah, she was giving her talking points. It's just the tip of the iceberg. And until people go to jail, Tim Walz, go to the top. Go to Obama, go to the Biden, go to the people that were involved in this for the past few decades to change this country and steal our wealth. Of course, there's yesterday's episode of Strictly Football. Here's this lady. can't confirm this. I don't know, but Christian Nigerians thanking President Trump for taking action against the jihadi Islamic supremacists who have terrorized them for years.
My profound gratitude to the President of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, for sending help and rescue to the people of Nigeria. President Trump, God bless you. God bless the United States of America. We love you.
On behalf of Christians in Nigeria, I hail you. I salute you. God bless you, sir. God bless America. God bless Nigeria.
I want to thank Mr. President Donald Trump for sending help and rescue to Nigeria. God bless you, Mr. President. We love you. Thank you. Thank you, President.
All right, so it's a whole compilation video. I don't like seeing bullies. Gunther here says foreigners in Columbus are trying to buck up to ICE agents by telling them what to do and how to do it. Let's see how that goes.
See your name.
Columbus, Ohio. How does this go?
See your name. Fear. And I give you my license. And go in my paper.
Excuse me.
No, I need to see your name.
I'm a law enforcement officer.
Show me again. I need to see your name, please.
I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah,
sir,
I need to see your name.
Your identification.
Yeah, I need to see your name.
I just did. You have another agent
Yes,
right
yes.
there. All
Hey,
right?
come.
Let me see your driver's license.
Show me your.
Hey, good morning. Here's
Good morning. Yes, I need to see your name. Only your name. I don't need to. I need to see.
your name.
Yeah, your name. Yeah, your name. Turn around. I need to see your name. I need to see your name. I need to see your name.
Do you know I'm an officer?
Yeah, I need
Yes or
to
no?
see your
You
name.
know I'm a federal agent.
I don't know.
I'm asking you for your driver's license. I identified myself to you, sir.
Yeah, I don't see your
have
name.
my
What's your
face,
name?
You have my badge. Once I identify
Huh?
you,
Out of the
I
car.
will
Come
have
on.
your driver's license. Step We out need of your the ID right vehicle. now. Out of the car. Let's go. Come on. Get out.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Come on. Come on. Okay. Okay. Broken. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Stop. Do it. Come on. Do it.
And I know libertarians out there that are fighting the resistance against Donald Trump and ICE agents for trying to figure out who snuck into this country and to get them out. Thanks, libertarians, for nothing. The ones that want to denigrate ICE and say, yeah, America has no business having a bouncer at the border. Yeah, let every dirtbag in. Let people come in to rob us blind, abuse our kids and our women, steal our country. Yeah, come on in the name of libertarianism. Come on. Let's check in on CNN about climate change. You know, the thing Democrats have been incessantly huffing and puffing about for seemingly forever.
The worry in terms of climate change, simply put, hasn't shifted. It has not reached the majority of Americans. What are we talking about? Greatly worried about climate change. You go all the way back to 1989, it was 35%. 2000.
Please don't say 1989. I hate hearing this guy say this.
Back to 1989, it was 35%. 2000, 40%. 2020, 46%. And in 2025, look at that. It's 40%, the same number as we had 25 years ago back in 2000, and then only just 5 points higher than we had back in 1989. Really, we've just seen consistency on this issue. The bottom line is that the climate change message that folks who, of course, believe that climate change is real and is quite worrisome, simply put, has not really worked with the American people.
So greatly worried. You say greatly worried. I mean, so people say they're greatly worried, 40%, but how worried? Really? Is it the biggest thing they're worried about?
Yeah, it is not anywhere close to being the biggest thing that people are worried about. What are we talking about here? Well, why don't we just talk about top issue facing the U.S., climate change. Well, I got some numbers for you on the screen right here. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that these numbers are not particularly high. Top issue facing the United States, climate change. It was 3% in 2021, 2% on average of polls in 2023, and this year the average of polls 2. It is very, very low on the list of priorities. I was trying to count it out in the Gallup poll, and basically it was so low down, you know, I was counting all the different issues, almost lost track. It was like 15th or 20th. It was just very, very low down. So the bottom line is not only are we seeing that the number has not really moved over the last 36 years. But in terms of being the top issue, it simply put has not broken through. 2%, there are just a ton of things that rank way higher on the list of importance.
Even I can count to 2. In terms of how people feel it will impact them directly, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'll just note 2 things. Number 1, your Harvard education paying off. But number 2, right here, look at this. Climate change effect on my home area will be harder to stay here. Look, in 2023, it was 23%. Look at where we are now, 17%. Now, you know, these numbers are pretty comparable, but they're pretty comparable on the low side is what we're talking about here, is Americans simply put just don't think we'll have the type of impact that will really change their lives, which again goes back to the message that Bill Gates was saying, right? This is not something that's going to be devastating for humanity. It's something we can work our way out of. A lot of Americans agree, and even on this, we're talking about just 27% of Democrats who believe that climate change effect in my home area will be harder to stay here. So even on the left wing, where you'd expect the climate change message to hit most home, it simply put is not reaching that type of level in terms of the doomsday scenario that Bill Gates is talking
Interesting.
about.
So they've abandoned it. Now everything's about affordability, while the Democrats will do everything within their power to reduce affordability, to blame it on Trump, so that they can put in more terrible ideas to make things worse. And then when the Republicans try to fix it, the Democrats blame the Republicans for the problem that they created. It's an ongoing loop. This guy is exposing don't step on there, buddy. Second largest Somali population in Columbus, Ohio. It's more of it. The Minnesota fraud is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a 4-minute video.
And then you just start looking at the reviews. And so if they even have reviews, like this place got 2 reviews 2 years ago, and they're both 5-star reviews. And again, I don't know if you have kids, but daycares get reviews. Okay, and then you got the Hyatt Learning Center, and it's at 2599 Tiller Lane. This place you can't even see on Google Maps. But you can see that at this address, there's like all these businesses that are listed there, and this learning center is just one of them, and it has no reviews. And then this one.
So just keep digging around. This stuff is everywhere. Geiger Capital says it's not just daycares. Somalis in Minnesota have been setting up fake medical centers and fraudulently diagnosing their children with autism to systematically steal billions of taxpayer dollars through Medicaid. It's so bad. In a 5-4 decision, Salem City Council in Oregon appoints Kyle Hedquist, whose sentence for murdering a 19-year-old in 1995 and leaving her in a ditch was commuted in 2022. Now he's a police oversight board and civil commission member. Okay, that makes sense. Lives a TikTok shows us a 36-year-old drag queen in New Jersey appears to be caught on camera admitting to meet up with a 15-year-old boy for raw SE eggs.
Hey, how's it going? Good. We're here to have a conversation with you, okay? About who you're here to meet. What is gonna hurt you or touch you. I just want to talk because you committed multiple felonies tonight.
Okay.
Okay. You know why I'm here. So who are you here to meet with tonight?
This guy.
Okay. And where'd you meet this guy?
Online.
On a dating app?
Yeah.
Okay. And how old did he tell you he was?
Well, it said 18 when I started talking to him.
And when he messaged you, or when you messaged him, how old did he tell you he was?
He said 15.
15. And how old are you?
36.
Huh?
36.
36. So what business does a 36-year-old man have meeting with a 15-year-old boy?
I didn't, wasn't thinking about it.
You were thinking with the wrong head, obviously, right? You knew it was illegal, and you still showed up anyway. Yeah, you mentioned you wanted to.
This continues. He also admits that he works for an LGB, etc. organization where he hosted drag story time for children. The thing the left never says happened again. Thanks for exposing this. Oh, you want to see some unhinged stuff? Watch this. And so it begins. Independent journalist and private detective Candace Owens states that she has proof. Well, let's... I should end. No, I need to end on this story. Hold on. I'm not going to do it. I got to do that last. Oh, or should I end on this one? Anyway, they're saying we're not going to let Ohio become Minnesota. Vivek Ramaswamy running for Columbus governor, of course. All right, we'll end on two high notes here. Hit like, hit subscribe. Consider signing up for our monthly Patreon, monthly Rumble, or monthly YouTube subscription. Those are permanent building blocks that we can count on once a month for basic donations. They're super helpful. Consider Rumble rants and super chats. This is our last day of 2025. If anyone wants to throw something in the tip jar, let's end December with a bang, in a good way, in a good bang. Yes, and pinkies up to our friend Julia Collins over here. Cheers. If that is your real name. No, it's not. You come in here every week. And these are their talking points. 0 Republicans vote for Obamacare. 0. Written by the insurance companies, as we talked about earlier in the program, to collapse the entire healthcare industry, 1/6 of our economy, under the Cloward and Piven strategy, to overwhelm unfunded liabilities, to collapse our economy and overthrow our nation and then rule over the ashes. That's their plan. That was their plan all along. Single payer, ruin our healthcare system. Fraud, fraud, fraud. That's the Democrats' plan. And then Julia comes in and says, now that the GOP has officially ended the Obamacare subsidies, premiums are going to skyrocket for tens of millions of Americans in the next month. But Obama said, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. It'll be like, the price of a cable bill. A family of 4, just like super cheap. It'll just be, between you and, you and your doctor, and it'll be cheap. It's bullshit. This was a massive grab for the insurance companies, and it's all collapsing. But then their propagandists come in and try to convince you it's the Republicans' fault. Sorry, sweetheart. We ain't buying your crap here. So, yes. Kenneth, thank you so much. Kenneth off the top rope with a $20 donation in the super chats. Thank you so much. Cheers to you, sir. Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. 2 moments of Zen here. I hope you enjoy both of these as much as I enjoyed that $20 super chat from Kenneth. Thank you, sir. So here's a man. Here, let me go full screen on this. Maybe I could go, side by side would be bigger even. I don't want to clip the end of it. That's fine. So here's a man wearing a mocap suit. He becomes the first person in the world to kick himself in his own balls. Here, let me just full screen it. There we go. I'm playing Tetris on all these videos. This is so great. So it's like an emulator, like the movie Avatar. What you do, it does. Democrats making a policy. Here's Barack Hussein Obama creating Obama. Oh no, the subsidies that we took to it. We can't afford healthcare. We're kicking ourselves in the balls. I blame Republicans for that. This is so perfect. This is a visual representation of Democrats implementing the Obamacare that they created and complaining to the policy. Shut up. We see it. We've watched it. We've yelled about it. That's Obama kicking you in the balls on your health. Democrats did the visual representation of Democrats. Perfect. Thank you. That worked so nicely. And now for your final moment of Zen. I only watched a couple seconds of this and it got so It got so unhinged, I wanted to save my full reaction. Now, this is Candace Owens, made through AI, by the way, at the Quality Leering Center. Quality Leering. Candace Owens has it figured out.
Hi guys, so we have huge news for today's show. Our team discovered Israel is leering you in to think it's Islam. This makes no sense. Name, daycare, fraud, media's peen. It make no sense. Daycare, fraud, media, say science, so. But wait, there is more. Look.
But wait, there is more.
Look at this. Daycare fraud, they say it's Islam. Daycare, kids, bad, it's Israel. They want you chasing labels, not the scam. This is obviously Israel. That does it for today's show.
There's too much music out here.
Tune in tomorrow for solid proof my friend told me about that Israel is behind this scam.
Tune in tomorrow for some solid proof that my friend told me about.
Candace Owens, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Gosh, these people are so stupid. They'll believe anything.
Anyway, not that I ever believe slickly produced pro-Israel, anti-Candace propaganda, but, you know, if she's going to make so not so thinly veiled accusations that it was Erica and Turning Point that ended Charlie, well, I need some more receipts. That's all I'm saying is I need some more receipts. That was pretty funny, though. In hindsight, I liked the robot. I liked Obama kicking our American healthcare in the balls video much better. Kenneth is a graduate of the Leering Center. Yeah, you're like behind the fence on Home Improvement. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Heidi-ho, neighborino. Neighborino. That's a little bit more like Flanders, but yes, Leering. All right. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. I hope 2026 is so awesome you can hardly contain yourself. So set some goals, put some methods in place, get on some systems that work for you. Let's conquer. Let's protect. Let's defend. Let's achieve. Let's celebrate. Let's have some high expectations out of ourselves and our neighbors and our community. I'm here for it. And I hope you'll be here for it next year. Will we do a show tomorrow at noon? It depends. Put that as a big question mark. Also, big question mark, will I live stream tonight's broadcast, the Buckeyes game against the Miami Hurricanes? Maybe, maybe not. Keep your eyes posted. I may do it. I may not. I'm allowing myself a little bit of grace. I don't have a producer or a boss telling me I must or must not. It's up to me. I have to determine what I want to do. So I have the grace if I don't go live during the Buckeyes game, and I'm giving myself grace if I don't go tomorrow during the New Year's Day show at noon, but we shall see. Either way, I do believe we have said tomorrow at 3 o'clock we're going to do Strictly Football so that we can look at the last regular season week of the year. That's myself, Mike Barrett, Jim Mitchell, Ezrael Robinson, Strictly Football tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. So maybe I'll do a show since I'm going to be here anyway. Kenneth says, do a show tomorrow, please. All right. Well, it also depends on what does tonight turn into? We'll see. We will see. If you got the time, we got the beer. All right. Well, now that's a mighty fine invitation, if I do say so myself. Anyway, thank you all for watching out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Happy New Year, everybody. Nimbus and I say peace. Nimbus, can you get up and say peace? Here, over here. Let's see if we can get you to turn and say peace on earth, goodwill to Nim. Oh, isn't he adorable? Aren't you the most adorable? I'm annoying him so he could snap at me. But anyway, Nimbus and I say Happy New Year. Appreciate you. Love you. Talk to you again soon. Peace.
your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.